Your Ford is bleeding fuel every single mile you drive, and your tires are the reason why. Not the engine, not the transmission, your tires. I have been working on Fords for over 15 years, and I have watched owners spend hundreds of dollars chasing fuel economy problems that were sitting right underneath them the entire time. 7 specific tire habits are quietly destroying your miles per gallon. These habits are so common, so accepted, that most owners never question them. Habit number 4 shocks almost everyone because it is the opposite of what most people believe. And habit 1 is something I guarantee you are doing right now, today, without even realizing it. These are not theories. These are real mechanical realities that are costing Ford owners money at the pump every single week. Let's fix that right now. Let's start with something almost every Ford owner is doing wrong and doesn't know it. Habit number 7, driving on tires that are just a few PSI low. Not flat, not visibly soft, just a little low. Maybe 28 PSI when your door sticker calls for 35. Seems harmless, right? It's destroying your fuel economy silently and consistently every single drive. Here is the physics behind it. A properly inflated tire maintains a small, firm contact patch with the road surface. That firm patch rolls efficiently, requiring minimal energy to move forward. When that same tire drops to 28 PSI, the sidewall flexes more than it should. The contact patch grows wider and longer. More rubber touching the road means more rolling resistance. More rolling resistance means your engine burns more fuel to maintain the same speed. Ford engineers publish data on this. For every 1 PSI drop below the recommended inflation, fuel economy decreases by approximately 0.2%. That does not sound like much until you do the math. A tire that is 7 PSI low is costing you 1.4% fuel economy on that corner alone. Multiply that across all 4 tires and you are losing 5 to 6% of your total fuel economy just from low inflation. Rolling resistance adds up fast. On an F-150 that normally averages 18 miles per gallon, that is more than a full mile per gallon gone. Permanently, every tank, every drive, just from tires that look perfectly normal from the outside. The real problem is that 28 PSI looks fine visually. Modern radial tires are designed to look relatively normal, even when significantly underinflated. You cannot eyeball this. You need a gauge. Check your tire pressure cold, meaning before you have driven more than a mile every single month. Your door jamb sticker tells you exactly what PSI Ford recommends for your specific truck, loaded the way you normally drive it. Use that number, not the number molded into the tire sidewall. That is the maximum rating, not the recommended operating pressure. Habit number 6 will make you rethink something you have probably done for years. Running the wrong tire size, not dramatically wrong, just slightly different from what Ford specified from the factory. Tires that are half an inch taller in diameter, wheels that are an inch wider than stock, modifications that look great, but are actively hurting your fuel economy in ways you would never suspect. Ford engineers spend enormous time calibrating gear ratios, the speedometer, transmission shift points, and the overall drivetrain to work optimally with a specific tire size. When you change that size even slightly, everything gets thrown off. A tire that is taller than stock effectively changes your final drive ratio, so the engine has to work harder to move the vehicle the same distance. The transmission then shifts at the wrong speeds because it is calculating based on wheel rotations that no longer match the original tire circumference. Wider tires increase rolling resistance up front because more rubber is in contact with the road surface. On F-150s and Super Duties, going from a 275 wide tire to a 305 wide tire can cost you 1 to 2 miles per gallon depending on driving conditions. That is not a small number. If you tow regularly, the aerodynamic drag from wider tires compounds the problem further because the tires extend beyond the factory wheel wells and catch wind that the body panels were designed to direct around them. If you have put larger or wider tires on your Ford for looks or capability, and you have noticed your fuel economy is not what it used to be, this is a significant part of why. The fix is not necessarily going back to stock if you need the capability, But you need to understand and accept the trade-off. You are paying for those bigger tires at the pump every single week. Habit number 5 is one that makes perfect sense on the surface until you understand what it is actually doing to your fuel economy. Overinflating your tires to compensate for low pressure warnings. Some owners, frustrated with constantly low tire pressure lights, just inflate their tires to 40 or 42 psi. Problem solved, right? The light goes off, and they do not have to mess with it again for months, except they have created an entirely different problem. Overinflated tires are just as bad for fuel economy as underinflated ones, just in a different way. When a tire carries too much pressure, the contact patch shrinks dramatically. The center of the tread bears the entire load, while the outer edges barely touch the road surface. This creates two serious problems simultaneously. First, the reduced contact patch means less grip, which is a safety issue Ford engineers absolutely accounted for in the braking and handling calculations. Second, the tire bounces over road imperfections instead of absorbing them. Your suspension has to work harder. The drivetrain experiences micro vibrations. The wheel bearings take additional stress, and the tire itself wears in a crowned pattern down the center, destroying the tire significantly faster than proper inflation would. The fuel economy loss from overinflation is not as dramatic as from underinflation, but it is real. And the additional tire wear means you are replacing expensive tires sooner, which is its own enormous cost. The proper approach is to inflate to the door sticker specification and check it monthly with a quality gauge, not the one attached to the gas station air pump, which is frequently inaccurate. Invest in a $15 digital tire gauge and keep it in your center console. It will pay for itself in the first tank of gas you save. Now we are getting into the habits that really hurt. If you are finding this valuable, hit that like button now and subscribe, because the next 3 habits are where most Ford owners are losing the most money at the pump. Habit number 4 is going to surprise you because it contradicts what most people instinctively believe about fuel economy and tires. Some truck owners run harder compound tires thinking they will roll more efficiently. Many specifically seek out stiff, load-rated tires, believing a harder tire means less flex, less rolling resistance, and better mileage. The logic sounds reasonable. It is almost entirely wrong. Rolling resistance is primarily determined by the internal construction and the rubber compound chemistry, not by inflation pressure or sidewall stiffness alone. Tire manufacturers spend hundreds of millions of dollars developing compounds that deform and recover efficiently as they rotate. A quality all-season tire engineered for low rolling resistance will dramatically outperform a stiff, cheap mud terrain tire in fuel economy, even if both are inflated to the same pressure. The stiff sidewall of an aggressive off-road tire requires more energy to deform through its rotation cycle. The tread blocks on a mud terrain tire create aerodynamic turbulence at highway speeds. The heavier overall weight of an aggressive tire requires more energy to accelerate and maintain speed. Ford actually publishes fuel economy estimates based on the specific OEM tires installed on your vehicle. Swap those tires for an aggressive aftermarket option, and you can lose 2 to 4 miles per gallon. On a truck doing 15,000 miles a year at current fuel prices, that is $300 to $600 a year in additional fuel costs every year. Forever, as long as you run those tires. If you need off-road capability, that is a legitimate trade-off. But if you put aggressive tires on your daily driver F-150 purely for the look, you are paying a significant fuel penalty for aesthetics. Consider a quality highway all-terrain tire instead. You get the visual presence without the catastrophic fuel economy hit of a full mud terrain tire. Habit number 3 is one that Ford specifically engineers against, and yet owners keep doing it anyway. Ignoring tire rotation intervals. Most Ford owners either skip rotations entirely or stretch them way beyond Ford's recommended interval. On most F-150s, Ford recommends tire rotation every 7,500 miles. Many owners go 15,000 miles, 20,000 miles, or never, and this is costing them fuel economy in a way that compounds over time. Here's the direct fuel economy connection that most people miss. When tires wear unevenly because they have not been rotated, the worn sections create irregular contact patches with the road. An irregular contact patch generates significantly more rolling resistance than a smooth, even tread surface. A tire that is worn more on the outer edges because of alignment or rotation neglect is fighting the road surface instead of rolling cleanly over it. Additionally, uneven tire wear throws off the wheel balance. An out-of-balance tire vibrates at highway speeds. That vibration is energy your engine produced that is being wasted as heat and motion instead of forward momentum. Every vibration you feel through the steering wheel or the seat is fuel economy leaving your truck. Regular rotation keeps the wear pattern even across all 4 tires, maintains optimal contact patches, and keeps the wheels rolling cleanly. It is also dramatically cheaper than replacing tires prematurely. Uneven wear from skipped rotations can cut tire life in half. When a $200 tire needs replacing at 30,000 miles instead of 60,000 miles because of neglected rotation, you have lost far more money than any service would have cost. Habit number 2 is where Ford owners lose the most fuel economy in a single, fixable mistake: running mismatched tires. 2 new tires on the back, 2 worn tires on the front, or worse, 4 different tires with 4 different tread patterns and wear levels. This situation is incredibly common on older trucks, and it is devastating to fuel economy and vehicle dynamics simultaneously. When tires are mismatched in tread depth, the rolling resistance is different at each corner of the vehicle. Your Ford's stability control, traction control, and ABS systems are constantly making micro corrections to account for the inconsistent grip and rolling characteristics. Every one of those corrections requires energy from the drivetrain. The torque vectoring on trucks with electronic limited slip differentials works overtime trying to balance wheel speeds that should be identical but are not because worn tires are mixing with new ones. All of that electronic management work translates directly to fuel consumption. Beyond the fuel economy impact, mismatched tires on an all-wheel drive Ford are actively damaging the transfer case and differentials. These systems are engineered assuming all 4 tires have the same circumference. When one tire is significantly more worn than the others, the drivetrain experiences constant internal binding that creates heat and wear on expensive components. Ford actually states in their owner's manuals for AWD models that tires should be replaced in sets of 4 and that tread depth difference between any 2 tires should not exceed 4/32 of an inch. Most people skip right past that page. Do not be most people. If you need to replace tires on an AWD Ford and cannot afford 4 new ones, have the new tires shaved to match the tread depth of the existing tires. It is cheaper than replacing a transfer case. Habit number 1 is what I promised you at the beginning. The habit you are almost certainly doing right now. The single most common tire-related fuel economy killer on every Ford I have ever worked on: neglecting wheel alignment. Most Ford owners go years, sometimes the entire time they own the vehicle, without ever having the wheel alignment checked. This is quietly, invisibly costing them fuel economy every single mile they drive. Wheel alignment determines the angle at which your tires contact the road. When alignment is correct, every tire rolls in the precise direction the vehicle is traveling. When alignment is off, even slightly, your tires are constantly fighting the direction of travel. Think about rolling a shopping cart with one bad wheel. That wheel drags sideways instead of rolling forward. Your entire truck is doing a version of that when the alignment is off. The fuel economy penalty from misaligned wheels is significant and immediate. Just 0.17 degrees of toe misalignment, an amount completely invisible to the eye, increases rolling resistance by approximately 2.5% per tire. All 4 tires slightly out of alignment and you are looking at 10% or more fuel economy loss. On a truck that should get 20 miles per gallon on the highway, that is 2 miles per gallon gone. Permanently gone, every tank, until you fix the alignment. Alignment shifts for reasons that happen constantly in normal driving. Hitting a pothole, clipping a curb, a hard impact from road debris, even normal suspension wear over time gradually shifts alignment away from specification. You do not need to hit anything dramatic. Normal driving on imperfect roads moves alignment slowly but consistently away from spec. Ford recommends checking alignment whenever you install new tires, anytime you notice uneven wear or pulling to one side, or after any significant impact. In reality, checking alignment annually is appropriate for most driving conditions. It costs $80 to $120 at most shops. The fuel savings from a single alignment correction will pay for the service inside 3 to 4 tanks of gas. Here's the complete picture. Your Ford's fuel economy is directly tied to what's happening at the 4 contact patches between your tires and the road surface. Keep proper inflation checked once a month. Use the correct tire size and compound for your actual driving needs. Maintain even wear through regular rotation. Keep matched tires across all 4 corners. Get alignment checked and kept within Ford's specifications. These 5 fundamentals of tire management are what Ford engineers assumed when they published the fuel economy estimates for your specific truck. When any of them are wrong, you are not getting the fuel economy your Ford was built to deliver. Start today. Check your tire pressure before your next drive. Look at the wear pattern on your tires. If the edges are more worn than the center, you have been running underinflated. If the center is more worn than the edges, you have been overinflated. If one side of the tire is significantly more worn than the other, you have an alignment problem that has been costing you money for months or years. Fix these habits and you will feel the difference at the pump within 2 weeks. Guaranteed. If this opened your eyes, subscribe and hit the notification bell because we cover Ford-specific maintenance and performance topics every week. Drop a comment below telling me which of these habits you are guilty of. I'll see you in the next one.